Hi everybody, I'm Sifu Rafi Dudarian. I hope you're having a great day. Today we are going to do a signature JKD technique. It's called a stop hit or a Jeet Tek. I have with me today Sifu Chris Thompson of Just Train Martial Arts and Fitness here in Rhode Island. He's one of my senior students, been with me a really long time, and it's his first time helping us out today. I'm really glad he's here. So let's just jump right in. I'm going to be in my right lead. Chris is going to work right lead. It's a very basic concept. As he moves towards me, my longest weapon, my side kick, is going to touch his closest target or his leg. So as he comes closer, there it is right there, okay? Not rocket science by any stretch. There is a great explanation Bruce Lee gives of it in that old show from the 70s, Long Street, where he goes into Jeet Kune Do and you know, the longest weapon to the closest target. If you're a Bruce Lee fan, you can probably quote it verbatim. But the idea is that I'm going to intercept him as he comes towards me and just stop hit here. Now, Guru Dan in Asanto is very adamant about one thing, and I want to make sure I impress this upon you as well. Just come closer, Chris. In the dojo, it goes on the thigh for safety. On the street, if the situation warrants it, it goes on the knee. Okay, knowing that if you cut someone across the knee, it's probably over and probably break the guy's knee and he's in for a lifetime of health issues. So you need to weigh out the threat of the situation and if it warrants that type of response. But anyhow, so obviously today in the dojo, we're going to be working in on the thigh. When you do the stop hit, there are two ways I've been shown. One is to stiff leg it. I mean, if you notice, I came up, my leg's really stiff and that cuts them there. A lot of guys like it, it's not wrong. I prefer this other method where my leg comes up just a little bit bent and I extend it at the end. So you play around with that. Whichever one works best for you, that's the one you should do. As far as how to hold your hands, again, there are a lot of different philosophies on this. Some people will say keep your hands up the whole time. I've seen people who say you drop this hand on the kicking side and keep this hand up for protection. And everything in between, you play with it. Honestly, I find myself kind of doing a little bit of both, so I don't know that I have a set way to do it. But you play with it and do the one that works best for you. So again, as Chris moves towards me, I come in, I work my stop hit, and then I come forward, and this is where it gets interesting. So what happens now? The essence of JKD is to always be sort of like a laboratory. What if, what if, what if? So if he comes in and I get my technique, all right, and that hand drops, I would go into punching, okay? So we're going to talk about right now the Jeet Tek and then follow-up techniques or attack by combination. Now let's take it to that next step. As I mentioned, we're going to put in some follow-up striking, and I'm just going to work off of some of the attack by combinations that we do with Sifu and Asanto. We do them right here at the Academy here in Rhode Island. The first one is going to be cross, hook, cross, and then I'm going to add the kick at the end. So it starts with, just as I did a second ago, I work my stop hit, and then if I see the opening, I come in cross, hook, cross. Chris goes back, gives me a little bit of room, and I work a roundhouse kick, okay? You don't have to do the roundhouse kick, and you don't have to put it on the pad. So after I do the technique wand, okay, we go here. All right, I can put a second side kick on the leg, or I can put a roundhouse kick on his leg. Careful of the contact, that's up to you and your partner. Or I can do as I did a second ago, where he gives me that kick here, the pad here, and I work the kick there. You play around with it. You shouldn't really do just one. You should be able to do them all. So one more time with that combination, I do my stop hit, I come in cross, up, cross. He gives me a little space, and I go either one, or two, or three. Whatever works best for you. The next one we're going to do is cross, uppercut, cross. And there's a whole bunch of these, and you should be coming up with a bunch of them on your own. You need to, you know, mold your Jeet Kune Do, okay? Just do what I'm telling you. Come up with your own creative combinations. I'm sure they'll be really great. So the next one, I do my stop hit. We go cross, uppercut, cross. He goes back, and again, it's either one, two, or three, whatever you like. So that was cross, uppercut, cross. The last thing I'm going to do is 3 straight punches, starting with my rear hand. So he comes in, I go my stop hit, I come forward, 1, 2, 3, and end 1, 2, or 3, whatever feels good to you. So there's 3 follow-up techniques after the stop hit. So now let's go a different what if and go into trapping. Ideally, when you hit your opponent, your attacker with the Jeet Tek, it will hopefully end the confrontation if you go through his knee, but not everything works out the way we want it to, and that's where Jeet Kune Do, I think, is really a great art. It sort of deals in every situation that could happen. So if he comes forward at me, I work my stop hit, but maybe he's, he's a big dude, maybe my technique glances off of him, but for whatever reason, it fails to a certain degree. And after I land, he throws a punch. So I'm gonna block, I'm using Tan Sao. You could certainly use Bu Sao as well, a palm down block. And then I'm gonna rotate, grab, and Lop Sao his arm, pulling hand, and throw my punch. Okay, so that is, again, what I want ideally to happen. I block, I grab, I pull him in, I throw my punch, and then I can continue striking as I did a minute ago. But let's keep the what if going. So he comes in, I make my technique, he throws the punch, I block and rotate, and he blocks across. And he's using Pak Sao just for now, so now my next response will be to take my right hand and just follow up and punch him there. So we're just gonna show that now from this side. So Jeet Tek, he punches, I rotate, Lop Sao, he blocks across, and then this hand comes straight up the pipe and hits, and then we go back into everything I did a second ago with the pads, okay? You can also practice these with your partner holding the pads. It's a little awkward, but after you would make that right punch, you can come in and hit something a little harder, okay? So you need to practice that both ways. So now, out of that Lop Sao here, he punches, I block. Out of this reference point, I just came up the pipe a second ago, but now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this hand, rotate around, and I'm going for the eyes with the buji, or it could be a punch, okay? So we go here, and that's the technique. So that's your second trap out of this particular situation of Lop Sao, okay? So from here, 1, 2, he blocks, 1, 2, and then the third one will be I come around and he blocks across, he catches me, he's a little better than I thought he was. This time I'm gonna rotate around with another Lop Sao, cross trap, and come in with the uppercut. So 1, 2, 3, I come around, I'm trying to do that. He brings it across, he jams me up. I rotate and pull it down, and then there's my uppercut, and then, I can come in with elbows if I wanted to. And you be creative, you'll come up with really great stuff. Now let's go into Pak Sao, all right, which is, trapping 101. If you're a JKD guy, you know Pak Dar, you can do it in your sleep. So when he comes in, I go here, and this time I'm moving forward. I see the hand, I've done my Jeet Tek, and as I drop, I have an obstruction. This is obstructing me from hitting. So I'm going to work with my left hand, Pak Sao, and hit. Now the technique you use after the Pak Sao, again, it's up to you. It can be a Sat Sao, it could be the buji if the situation warrants that. It can be a straight punch, it can be a back fist, whatever you think will work best, okay? So we go here, 1, there's that obstruction, I come in, I hit and back fist, okay? So we go 1, 2. Now let's see what happens if we play the what if game. And a lot of you guys have a lot of Pak Dar trapping sets that you can do, and this is a great way to practice them. Instead of just standing there and doing them over and over again, you put it into a mix like this, where you're working the Jeet Tek and you're moving forward with the trapping. So from here, 1, I come in Pak Sao, he blocks, trapping 101, I clear the obstruction, and I hit, okay? So let's just show that from this side. Just right from the trap, so from here, I trap him down, he blocked in center line, this hand comes across, I clear it out, you see how my forearm is in this position, kind of trapping that just long enough for me to hit him again. Okay, so that's second Pak Sao technique after the Jeet Tek. The third one I'm going to have you do is when you go here, I trap and hit, he blocks me here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just take his arm around to here and go into Kotegaesh. Okay? If you don't know Kotegaesh, it's just wrist takedown. You should look it up. I'm not going to teach you here because it's not a jiu-jitsu video, but it's just one variation out of that particular reference point. So when we're here, 1, 2, I rotate it around and I go to Kotegai Etch. The next one I want you to work on will be just to go straight striking. 1, 2, right from here. There's the uppercut, there's the hook, there's the elbow, there's the elbow. Okay, so again, working striking after your pot's out. The purpose of trapping is to hit your opponent. Sometimes people get lost in that. My students do it when I'm teaching a seminar outside of Rhode Island. I'll see guys who get really caught up in the trapping and they forget the whole purpose of it is to hit the other guy. So don't lose sight of that. Don't get so caught up in trap that you miss out on some strikes that were available. So here I went stop hit, pots out, and then right from here, there's my uppercut, and then I just do another hook, an uppercut, and you can come in with an elbow. Okay, so there's another striking combination for you to work out of that technique. And then just to be thorough here, if he crosses center line, if I come here and he goes way across, I know you guys know this one, you raise up here, lops out, and hit. Okay, so I'm not going to go into that one in too much detail other than to just maybe show it one more time, just in case there's one guy out there that doesn't know this. This hand comes up, when he crosses, it's more economical for me to raise this up, pull it down, satsao or guachoi, whatever works best. When you're in that last position with your trapping, you should go into some type of locking. Some guys like to take it to the ground. That's cool, that's your thing. Some guys like to do stand-up jiu-jitsu. Some guys will go to knee strikes and then some sort of takedown there. I'm not going to get into that because it's not a grappling video. I'm trying to keep it just very stand-up for purposes of this video. So you find the way that works best for you. Okay, thanks for watching. If you like the video, say something in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my YouTube page under Rafi Dudarian. Subscribe if you like what's going on there. We've got a lot of videos we've been uploading. Thanks again to Chris Thompson from Just Train, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks.